Help me with an experiment by watching this whole video. Today, I'm Minecraft Curios and Aphmau at the same time. I want to show you two cool but totally different things. We're going to try hacks of YouTube civilization by obeying the search predictions. I'm going to do a first night survival house tutorial, and then I'm going to show you how to play music and make songs from Minecraft sounds. During this video, more than 100 days will pass. First, let's do a survival house tutorial. So, if you come with me over here, when I do survival, one of the things I advise you do is that you start with some trees as soon as you can find them. Punching wood is not just the first thing people usually do in Minecraft, but it's actually fairly important to get things done for survival in your first day. And if you get a regular axe and start to chop them up, you should be able to get a number. And if you want to build a house the first night that actually looks really decent, my advice is you start with doing a 5-block gap. So if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to have a gap like this. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once you do this, then you can, let's say we were to fill this in with dirt. You can fill it in like this. This is actually one of the nicer ways to do things, and it's very modular. So what you would end up doing is you would end up having a crafting table like so, and you'd be able to come in here. You would have some oak planks. I'm pretending to be in survival. So what we're going to do is we'll have some oak planks like this. That's fine. And so we can come in and mix whatever we get, and this would be your survival starting base. This is pretty easy to do in one day. And so you'd be able to put you'd have time to put a crafting table here. You'd have time to do a furnace. You'd be able to get this started before the sun came down. You'd be able to take excess wood you have by being able to do a house fairly cheaply, and you'd be able to go and do the rest of them in the furnace. And by putting those in the furnace, you'll be able to have enough charcoal to be able to start making torches when the sun goes down. And so this actually looks really good, and I recommend doing this when you have a dense forest that's got the dark oak. What do they call those? The mushroom forests. And so when you do those, that will give you the ability to. And sometimes you can do it like this if you're near a village and you want it to match the village. And if you want it to look better, you can mix it the other way. This is what I was thinking of doing for this video, and I think this honestly looks better. But generally, it's not too hard to find 2 types of wood, and you'd be able to go and add yourself a door and survive your first night. And so that's all you have to do. And so now you've got a house. This is a pretty quick house for being able to do it on one day. And it actually looks half decent. And let me show you what I mean by modular when I say that this is great for doing modular. So what you can do is after you're settled in for your first day, you can come over and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can come and you can add the same next to it. And then as soon as you're ready, you can knock the wall out like this. And lo and behold, now you've got a bigger house. And your house is kind of partitioned, so you kind of have a different feel. So let's say you were ready with this and it was already done. And see, now you've got a house that's bigger. And I find that these are really nice starter houses to get started. You want to put some torches on top too. But now you've got essentially a basic home. And you can fill this in very quickly. And this gives you the ability to be able to build a house that grows with you on your first few days. As you start to build out and need more space, maybe you need to get an enchantment table in here real quick without having to keep it. And so you can add a ladder, and then you can just double it in size. And so you could come up here and add another layer to it and do the same thing. I'm not going to go through it, but that's the gist of it. And so now we can have a ladder in the corner over here. So let's say we had a ladder here instead. And this would be our second story. And so essentially you've got these cubes that are ready in place for you to add and expand and expand and expand your house. This is one of the ways that I do when I'm not worried about my house looking pretty and I just want to survive and then I can make it look pretty later. This is a pretty easy way to go ahead and make a house really quickly and be able to make it bigger and be able to make it bigger without having to live in an ugly dirt hut. And so depending on what type of wood you do, you can make it look pretty. If you end up with a bunch of excess wood, you might have the option to go ahead and put some along the bottom like this for aesthetic too. Maybe you can use some cobblestone. But this gives you the ability to start building out your house very quickly. And so you don't have to worry about the looks being too ugly while you are trying to survive. So that's what I do for a survival house. So now let's get on to the second part of the video. Now I'm going to show you how to do music and songs in Minecraft. So let's go back up the hill. And up here, I got some very cool things for you. So you might know that you can make music using note blocks. This is one of my favorite sound effects. Maybe you recognize it from The Legend of Zelda. But I also like to use command blocks, because with command blocks, you can do Minecraft sounds. And so in these, I have, if I were to put a button here, I have an amulet block sound here. And when I push this, it's going to make the sound using that command. And so this will do one. And so what happens if we use these like they're note blocks? What will happen is we'll be able to get them in a loop like this, and we'll be able to actually start making music. Doesn't that sound pretty? I love that sound. It's pretty cool. So the command you're going to use is going to be pretty simple. So over here I have some examples that I was playing with where I could make the sound silently by throwing an item in a hopper and it would make the sound. I have the wool block break here, and I have the bone block fall here. So I started experimenting with making these sounds. And so you can do this playsound command. But let me go ahead and break this. And the other thing I'm going to show you is some of the songs of Minecraft. So one of the things you can do is if you go play sound, you can actually say Minecraft, and you can go music, and you can actually look at some of the different music here. And so these are the music discs, and so you can play one as if you were having the disc in your hand. So now if I go, let's say, to player, me, see there's 13. If you want to stop sounds, you can go stop sound, me, music. No, it's not stopping. I think it's a record sound. I misfiled it. Let's go stop all sounds. There we go. So if you want to do other sounds, so let's say I were to, oh, maybe it's because I was supposed to do music on this. I filed it under a different one. But one of the things you can do is you can play the background music. So you can actually choose. And so if I were to go and say, hey, give me Overworld.Grove. If you hear that music, it's the ability to kind of pick what kind of sound you want to do. So now we're over 100 days. So if I go time, query, day, we are on day 131. So there you go. There's two cool things you can do with Minecraft in 100 days. And so I'm going to show you all of these commands in the description below for doing different kinds of music. And so I can go and stop that sound, and I can pick another soundtrack. And so I can go and I can do, let's say I do create, there's one called creative, which will do some of the creative mode music. Do you hear it yet? This one takes a minute to get going. Let's see, now I have this music playing. I can stop it, and I can pick another one. I really like the one in the lush caves. But you can tell it to play music that would be appropriate to those places just by specifying these. And so I'll give you a list below. So now I need your help with an experiment. So what's your favorite Minecraft sound effect? Comment below and I'll make a song out of your favorites. Subscribe if you haven't and help me reach more people with my experiments and new inventions. I've got some really cool videos coming soon and you definitely don't want to miss out. So check out some of these playlists for more of what I've been inventing, and that's all I got for today. Talk to you later. Bye.